I'm going to show you how I mix my paints. For this colour palette, I want to do kind of peacocky kind of colours. And the paints I'm using are paebo paints. I like the quality and consistency of them. The first colour I'm starting with is this blue. It is colour 25, which you can see from the packet there. It's quite a nice kind of rich royal colour, blue. And as you can see there, it decided to poop itself all over my hand. But I've cleaned that up. Moving on to the next colour, I've got this purple here, number 47. Both the blue and this one here are both opaque. And I'm mixing between the opaque and the iridescent colours. Peebo call their iridescent colours DNA, as you can see from the paints in the background there. I've added a bit of the purple into the blue because I wanted these colours to kind of merge into each other so they look like they belong together when they're on the stone, if that makes sense. So as we go through mixing the colours, you'll see I'll mix a few together as I go, just so you can get that gradient throughout. And then I've got this DNA 366, I think it is, 356, apologies. And it's this lovely iridescent pink, and it adds a kind of shimmer to the purple. Moving on to this lovely iridescent bluey green aqua kind of colour, number 358, and it is one of my favourite colours in the paints that they do. I just absolutely love it. And then moving on finally to this kind of lime green, just to add a bit, again, a bit more brightness to the colour palette, and this is number 359. Now there they are, all the colours together, and now what's left to do is mix. And you can keep going until you get the colour and shades that you want. You can add a bit more colours, take away. As you'll see as we go through the video, I do add a bit more colour into some of these. There we go. There goes a bit more pink into there, just to brighten up a little bit more. And you just got to mix it through. Make sure you get it thoroughly mixed so you don't get any streaks, unless you're looking for that kind of effect, which can be a lovely effect. It can add a kind of marbling to your dots that you put on. So yeah, so just do it to whichever shade or effect you want in your paint. I've stopped mixing it for the moment, as you can see here, but I am going to change the colours of these ever so lightly, and I'll explain why shortly. So this blue mixed pretty well, actually. The purple incorporated pretty well, and I was happy with that. Now, like I said, I'm changing the colour slightly. When you put these onto black stones, which these are going to go onto, so that the turquoise, the aqua colour and the lime green really pop. If your darker colours are too dark and they dry another shade or two darker once they do dry in these paints, then you won't show up very well. And therefore I lighten them slightly just so that they dry that 1 or 2 shade darker, so that we will get the effect that we had hopefully at the beginning before I added the white in. The colours that they become anyway are gorgeous colours. It's just they look a bit more pastel than a peacock feathers potentially maybe. But I'm hoping that as they dry 1 or 2 shades darker, like I said, it should look pretty good. And here I go tweaking with the colours once again. So just adding a little bit more pink into this just to pick up that brightness once more and add a little bit more shimmer if possible. And as before, the main part is you just have to mix, mix, mix. Just because I want all my colours combined and not that streaky marble effect like I referred to earlier in the video. And now I'm just going to move on to mix the other 2 colours just so that the consistency is there. I'm not adding any other colours to these to lighten them or not. I like the shades as they are, and I think they contrast really well with the purple and the blue that we have on the palette already. Now I have the shades right, the next step is to get the consistency of the paint right so that you can get a good dot when you place it onto your stone. So what I'm using here is pouring medium, acrylic pouring medium, and I have decanted it into that easy, it's kind of like a sauce serving, you know, like you get at restaurants when you go there, so it's like a sauce serving pot. I just find using those I can get a good precise application of the product. I buy my pouring medium from Hobbycraft here in the UK, but there's many different ones online. Amazon have hundreds as always. So I've placed a small amount in each colour, and as you can see I'm going through mixing each one in just to test the consistency, see if we need any more. But I've only put a small amount in because the key here is it's easy to put more in, but you can't take some out if you put too much in. So unless I know I'm working with a really thick paint, which these peebo ones aren't, however the DNA ones are slightly thicker. As you can see, I've had to put a little bit more into the blue one there. However, strangely, the green DNA here is actually quite a good consistency straight off. It seems slightly thinner than the blue, but there we go. And that's me done. They are my peacock colours. I have the 4 shades that I've just mixed up, and I'm going to be putting them together with a gold on a stone. So keep your eyes peeled.